Snoopy? Snoopy beer drinking? Yeah, it's pretty snoopage. It's very snooping. Snoopy? Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know my voice was so loud that it like sonically irritated people, so I guess so. I guess that's shit. What happened over here, dude? Oh. Boomerness. Boomerness. That's tobacco, isn't it? Yeah, that's boomer. This says boomer. This has boomer residue all over it. Boomer. Why aren't the millennials addicted to tobacco as much as the boomers are? Because we saw the whistleblower movie with Russell Crowe in the 90s, and then people stopped smoking. So that was pretty much it. Now, obviously, people kept on smoking, a lot of the baby boomers, because they grew up with the Marlboro Man and people smoking and having a party, and it was like really fun and all that crap. Until they got lung cancer and had heart attack and strokes, it wasn't that fun at that time. But it was fun up to that point. And so that's the reason why when people saw the Russell Crowe whistleblower about R.J. Reynolds and Philip Morris, when they saw that movie about the fucking the evil corporation drugging people with nicotine, then people were like, "Hey, these evil corporations want to fucking kill us and just keep us addicted to dope and shit," and then people stopped smoking, you know. So that was. So it's not. Yeah, my generation, we do smoke sometimes, you know. After a few drinks, we have a cigar or whatever, but we're not like, we don't smoke all the time. We don't think that it's good. You know, we know it's an evil corporation, addictive fucking dope. So that's why we don't do it. But these other people that don't fucking think, we have a contingent of society that does not fucking think. They just do. They don't never think about what they're doing. They just fucking do it. You know? Society would be very interesting if people thought about what they were doing to their bodies and to other people. It would be a fascinating society, but since most people are just on autopilot and they're not really critically thinking everything they're doing and what they're paying for, problems. Okay, because we have a lot of people on autopilot. We have many people going through matrix motions, matrix activities, just following what what the system wants, not thinking about the system, just consuming, just buying, just tobacco, and it's yeah, it's real old. So, saying. Yeah, like I'm not addicted to the nicotine chemical. The only thing that can happen is, you know, after a few scotches or whiskeys or beers, then I smoke. But otherwise, not really. So to me, to not do something that, first of all, it has to not exist in space time. So to not have a cigar, First of all, I have to make sure that it does not exist, that it's not on one of my goalposts. Like my day does not revolve around getting cigarettes or tobacco or nicotine products or addictive products. So that's, I need this shit to be gone, is basically. And thank God my family is just your regular drunks, and thank God they're not like fucking, crack or cocaine addicts, because I'd be fucked right now. If that was the case, I would be so fucked if they were shooting up needles and shit. Thank God it's just beer and wine and crap like that. So, so when things are out of sight, they're out of mind for me. If it's so to me, I'm I'm a sight guy. So when things are visual, I see it, and then when things are not visual, then it's gone. Okay, it's like abracadabra. It's like magic for me. Now, other people, they operate differently. They're like, they know about things, so they act on the visuals. Okay, so that's different than mine. So to me, everything in life is a visual thing. The women are visual, the sex is visual, the money is visual, everything is visual. The movies are visual, the internet is visual, everything is a visual, okay? So that's how photographic eidetic memory works, is that everything is like a movie. Everything is like motion pictures. So like an Einstein equation, when I don't see things, they no longer exist. They just blink out of time. They don't exist. Now, it doesn't mean that people do not exist. It does not mean that I have to, so sure it's not even, yeah. All right. Well, you want to do the, yeah. So, kick it, yeah. Do you remember your friend's joy when they played Four by Aphex Twin? And the guy goes, kick it, yeah. And then your friends were like, yeah. That was a good part, huh? Yeah, they were, Wayne was a trust fund baby. Wayne Allen Kelly. And, he wouldn't talk about it often. He'd be like, my parents my grandma left me $200,000 to go to an Ivy League school. Kind of dicking around, kind of like flashing his cash. But he was kind of pretending to be one of us, like he was struggling in the market, and he was out there waiting tables. And yeah, I guess he was pretending like he was one of us. I don't know. Maybe that was the precondition of his funds being released, wasn't it? Yeah. So he worked at Babin's seafood restaurant. Hi, sir. How may I help you today? He's really paying his dues, huh? To go to the Ivy League school, Cornell University. Yeah. Yeah, he's really paying his dues. What is he, an analyst now? Yeah, I guess he became like a Wall Street analyst. He actually believed that I was part of the Wall Street riots of 2009. I said, no. I'm just joking around. I'm not part of the Wall Street riots. What am I going to do against Wall Street and all the criminals? What am I going to do? Oh, yeah, I have a protest sign. Am I really going to stop Washington for doing the evil shit they're going to do? No, I'm not. So it's a waste of time. Even if I tried to take on Wall Street or Washington, what am I going to do as one man? I'm just going to be out there with a sign, fuck Wall Street, fuck Washington, fuck corruption, fuck evil. It's going to be a waste of fucking time because it's not going to matter ultimately, right? So people want to do stuff that like actually matters, like vote or something. So it was called Occupy Wall Street was the movement, right? Yeah. After the economic recession of 2008, Barack Hussein Obama. Anybody ring a bell? Anybody? I don't know. That sounds like ancient history now, huh? Yeah, it definitely does. So now, if I ever became really wealthy, what I really lack my whole life is getting some pussy hole, getting some vagina, getting some entry into the vagina port. And yeah, I guess that was probably the massive extent of my damage, my personal damage, was that I never got access to the poontang. I don't know. So since I was severely lacking poontang, I decided, if I become a really wealthy man, I'm going to go try to get some poontang. So that would be one of the first objectives. And so, no more incel, no more looking at orgies, jerking off. I'm talking about real poontang, real entry. Real fucking is what I'm talking about. This Throw Your Mama from the Train movie is getting old, Like, oh, you're trying to write the great next American novel. And it's like, yeah, you read Jack Kerouac on the Road. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance was rejected 127 times from publishers, So, I don't know, did Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance and On the Road by Jack Kerouac, did they change my life? Well, not really, but I'm saying, like, in essence, they did. In terms of, like, reading and writing, yeah, sure. You could say that. But, Allen Ginsberg and the Beatniks and stuff, the Lost Generation, and yeah, it is very interesting literature, of course it is, without a doubt. I mean, that's an interesting point. Like, we're in an interesting point in history right now. It's like such a lame system trying to consolidate itself, such a lame system trying to lie about its wars and lie about its goals, and it's getting old, right? Yeah, most people are fed up with it, so. It's getting old fast. And what veneer do they use? Well, they use like a veneer like, we're the sane people, we're the logic, we're the left, we're the leftoids. Like, other people are extremists that want freedom and free speech and free ideas. Those people are extremists. We have to control and tame ideas. We have to tame thoughts. We have to tame language. No. No, that's not true. But so you gonna elect American Psycho for president? Hell no. That nigga is never gonna be president. I would rather vote for Ron DeBlandis, dude. Ron DeBlandis. Former Green Beret. If he's a soldier, then he's probably not entirely trustworthy, but he's probably at least partially trustworthy. So, I'd rather trust the soldiers and the Green Berets. Those are good people, aren't they? You ever met Green Berets in any time in your life? Yeah, those are good people. So my grandfather was in the U.S. Army, so I really trust them very much. I can't say that they're 130% trustworthy. I will say that they are very, very trustworthy people. They're very honest people. And so that's what I want. That's what Americans want. Um, they're not really looking for politicians to spill the secrets on the 2 trillion galaxies out there with the aliens. They're not expecting them to spill the secrets of Area 51 or something. They just want somebody who's going to tell the truth once in a while, okay? So it's not that hard. But Biden, the corrupt Biden regime, and the Democrats find it so hard to be transparent and not to lie. Their business is lying all the time. They're just fucking liars. Lying, hiding, plagiarizing, bribing Biden. Just a piece of shit. Human trash. Vile. Evil. What a piece of shit. You know, this guy is a piece of fucking trash. Human waste trash. Like me taking a shit and it being like turds and just like flushing down the toilet. That's what Joe Biden is. This guy failed to be the president 3 fucking times and he kept trying and trying. So you gotta admire his tenacity. And then finally, someone was like, hey, Delaware. Oh, we care about fucking Delaware all of a sudden. And I was like, Wayne's World, we're in Delaware. Who gives a shit? Yeah, that's what people thought for a long time. Like, who gives a shit about Delaware and Vermont? And they didn't give a fuck about those places. They were like, yeah, they're the original 13 colonies, but not really that relevant to the American body politic anymore. But so the politicians like Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, these old fucking corrupt farts from the Northeast, they kept trying and trying to hold higher political office. They kept trying and trying. Because they knew maybe electorally, their states as the original 13 colonies are from Great Britain are quite important. But really, Americans don't really give a fuck about what's going on in Vermont and Delaware, to be honest. It's just like, whatever. It's just another day in Delaware, you know? Jerk off. We're in Delaware. Hey, it fucking sucks. So, then Joe Biden goes in 1988. He knew there wasn't the internet and that people couldn't really fact check them. They'd have to go get tape and they'd have to go to the library and they had to be like big time nerds. Back in the day, it took effort to take down politicians. You weren't just like, hey, this guy's fucking a liar and a plagiarizer. And it's like, boom, it's right there, instantly accessible through high speed communications. It was like, you had to go know something, you had to go to the library, you had to dig through all this, fucking microfiche and all this shit back in the day. So it took longer and harder for journalists to bust Biden for his fucking plagiarizing. And then finally, they realized that Joe Biden was doing speeches from like Great Britain and he was just ripping off speeches from other politicians. And that sunk his 1988 campaign. And because it was just unavoidable that he ripped off all these different, like ex-presidents like FDR and like Ronald Reagan and shit. His team was just, or him, he was just ripping lines from old leaders. It was awful. That motherfucker's a piece of shit. I know how he got president, right? His popularity. People love Joe Biden, right? No. Without the Chinese virus, he wouldn't be anywhere. Without fear, they cannot operate. Without fear, the system cannot operate. It needs fear. It needs constant war. It needs constant death. It needs constant new viruses. It needs the military, industrial, pharmaceutical, technological media complex needs constant fear of death. Otherwise, they can't maintain their grip of power. No, Joe Biden and the Democrats were elected, and they gained control of two branches of government because people were afraid and they were cowards. That's why. That's why they seized two. So the lesson is, I guess, kids, if you create enough fear and disorder, that this world could be yours, I suppose, in a cynical way, in an evil way. But that is very close to the truth, unfortunately. Now, those psychopaths that run Wall Street in Washington, they know that fear can be a tool of mastery, of controlling the populace. So that's what they're using. First, Joe Biden became vice president off a half black, half white man called Barack Hussein Obama, a Muslim. So, yeah. It was thrilling at the time. It was like, oh, look, it's a guy who's educated and he's half black. Yeah, his dad's from Africa. And it was kind of exciting. It was novel at the time, and now it's not. The novelty is worn off very, very much. So now it's kind of like, yeah, why do we do that? That seems, hindsight's very 2020, literally. So could Joe Biden get elected without a Chinese plague? No, he really can't. Can Joe Biden get elected without a black or brown person? No, he can't. That's the real answer. Yeah, I love it. Oh, thank you, Mom. So yeah, sing until 5 or something like that. Woo! Well, I haven't checked the computer, the timestamp, but woo! Jesse Smollett trying to say Trump supporters. Yeah, I mean, the left and the mainstream media, they try to create white supremacy whenever they can. Why? Why do they want to destroy America? Why do they want to destroy white people? Well, all right. So you have a divided coalition, right? So it's kind of like you divide based on race and sex and identity politics. So that's what the Democrats do. They divide on racial and sexual lines. So that's why they want the LBG, the guys who dress up like women. That's why they want them. So like, hey, these guys can be voters. Okay. So like, hey, let's appeal to the trans queers. Let's appeal to guys who dress like women and gays and all this shit. So let's appeal to the women who think they're dudes and put on and that are bull dykes and put on their fucking butch haircuts and shit. Yeah, let's appeal to that. Why? It's less than what? I don't know. It's less than 1% of the population, probably less. Those people, all those weird people that do that kind of shit. Okay. There was a time, you would go to Montrose or Westheimer, and it'd be kind of weird. There'd be like guys dressing up in drag, and you'd be like, man, these people are fucking freaks. It's like, they're not, this is not, if you think this is fucking normal, I don't know what planet you're on, dude. But this is not normal shit. Why are the Democrats pushing the abortion? Yeah. Why are they doing the abortion thing? that's a divisive topic. Every topic they do, every program they do with the Democrats is all divisive topics. They never do any topic that unites people together because unity is dangerous to the Democrat Party. It's dangerous. That's dangerous. People unite together. Oh my God, that's terrible. Like Trump, like Republicans and conservatives. Whew, that is a danger to their power. They hate that. They hate that. Traditionalists and nationalists, they hate that there could be Trump supporters that are Latino and black and white at the same time, and they're all holding hands in the same unison. They hate that there's people different ethnicities, different nationalities, all holding hands together. They hate that because they can only thrive off division. So the Democrats only thrive off division and hatred and fear, but they don't really have anything else to offer besides those things. Why did they take the women? Why do they want the women? They want to divide women as their voting bloc because now the Democrats obviously are not fond of traditionalist women. They want to make it an issue that the Republicans are taking away women's freedom, their reproductive rights, basically their right to abortion, which is murder of a baby. And they're trying to normalize murder of babies. And that's not right. So most people know that's not right, that the aborting a baby is only right in case of incest or rape. Those are the only exceptions that abortion is. Okay. So the Democrats are trying to steal away women votes because that's more than half of the population. Women, everybody loves women. Who doesn't love women? Maybe Ted Bundy wants to kill women or something like that. Most people love women, right? They're like the birth givers. They have the poontang. Okay. So and if there are women haters out there and women beaters, then they have severe psychological or criminal problems. They're sexual predators or miscreants or whatever, So most people love women because women give birth, they give life. That should be promoted. That should be elevated to a higher status as it normally is. But so the Democrats, all they have is to try to divide the populace through race and ethnic and other lines. I don't see Gavin Newsom being elected president only if, there's women that just think he's sexy or something. That's the only reason. If they look at shallow, just image alone, then we're fucked. But if they look at how he's doomed California, then he's fucked. If they actually think about policies, if they actually think about... Now, if they're just judging by looks, well, the devil can always look good. The devil can always be young. The devil can always look nice. The devil can always sound nice. That's Gavin Newsom. Gavin Gruesome Newsom. He's a nuisance. Gavin Nuisance. So he's a used he's a used car salesman, basically. You ever went to a car dealership and some guy shows up and he looks, fucking like Gordon Gekko from Wall Street, and he's like, "Hey, you want to buy a car? I can give you a great deal." And this greasy fucker, that's what he is. He's a greasy used car salesman. He's a car salesman on the lot. That's all he is. And the thing he's trying to sell you is that the Republicans don't like LGBTQ or whatever. Well, that's not... Okay, how is a family man going to be into LGBTQ? Okay. All right. So you get a woman and she has babies. A woman has a male and a female baby. There's only two sexes. How are you going to get the reproducing alpha populace to get on board with LGBTQ and dudes dressing like chicks and shit? There's no way that's compatible. There's no way that's ever going to be compatible. How is reproduction on the same par as a Monty Python skit? They're not equitable. The equations do not align. It's not they're not on the same plane. They're not on the same level. They're not equal. If I see a woman with breasts, and it's clearly that she's got a vagina, and she's acting like a dude, and she's dressing up like a guy, I know something is wrong. Instinctively, something is wrong. It's not normal. So the Democrat Party divides along sexual lines because if you gain the female populace, then what? Well, that's more than 50% of the electorate because everybody likes pussy. Yeah, everybody likes vagina. Everybody likes life. So going against life or the life bearers is always a fool's errand. And so that's why the Democrats try to court the women. It's not that women are smarter or more capable than straight white men. That's not what it is at all. They hold the keys to the seed. So that's why the politicians are feverishly trying to court the females because that's more than half the population. Yeah. They can do without males. They can throw them out like they're queen bees expelling the worker bees. They don't care. Single males are expendable in this system. Like just disposable worker ants in the colony. They're not really that significant. But the women, yes, even the ugly ones, even the fat ones, even the ones with the warts are more significant because they can create babies. Now, my friend had access, like me, when I was younger, to really hot pussy. Okay, really attractive women. And what happens when you get like 35, 40, and you're still single somehow? Then the guys are like, oh crap, I'm 40, I better go get a fat girl. And they don't care because they have to reproduce really quick because they know their time is up. They've already got that message. So So when I see my buddies' ugly fat wives, do I think, oh, that's what they thought the best they could do? No, I realized they had to bust a nut real quick because they weren't going to reproduce. They had to get a fat girl because you're going to have to get ugly and fat girls if you waited to court until you're like 40 years old. That's just how it is. I mean, some guys, maybe like Mike Wheeler and so forth, they're in an industry where they meet attractive women and they find like an attractive musician girl or something. But where they get lucky at 50 and they find a beautiful woman, right? But, that doesn't happen all the time where guys just get lucky and stumble upon an attractive woman. It doesn't always happen that way. It doesn't always happen like a fairy tale for everybody. So, yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, here's to the brunch. Happy December. We're going to do Fabric Friday later. Try not to get too pissed off. Looks like somebody won the Texas two-step lottery tonight. Was it me? Last night? Was it me? I don't know. I have a pretty calculated, methodical strategy to win the lottery. Will I actually win? I don't know. I'll just give it to my parents because I guess I'm in the. I mean, what you take a risk if you give your money if you win lottery a lot of winnings to your parents because what they could betray you, they could like write you out of the will and give it to a second cousin at the last minute or some shit like that. Yeah, that is it. The idea would be to go get all the money for yourself so that nobody could take it from you. But let's go with the hypothesis that blood is thicker than water, and then we're okay. But if blood was not thicker than water, then we'd be in trouble because then people would think other ideas, and they would betray you, like Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus Christ. But